welcome back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show right here in your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.
And remember, our goal is always to guide you to personal and financial wealth.
Well, happy holidays again from Don Gatling, Gino Fronte with the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. Every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., we've been sharing with you some great information for almost 8 years, and we put it all together at donandgino.com, donandgino.com.
We also stream the show live there every week, so in fact, you could join us, and you can see Don's hideous sweater, as he likes to call it.
Yeah.
And I was wearing this funky hat, but it's like 600 degrees. Can you guys still hear me through this thing? How about that? Does that work?
You're dugging into a hat.
There we go. You know, it's a little magic trick or something.
Yeah, we love you being part of the show. Again, for almost 8 years, our goal has always been to guide you to personal and financial wellness. And I think we've done a pretty good job with not just our advice over the years, but bringing on the best professionals we can possibly find in any aspect of your life, whether it be insurance planning, financial planning, estate planning, college planning, bankruptcy, divorce, shutters for your home, to whatever it is, solar smackdown, all these things.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
We had so much fun with the solar smackdown.
And all that's on donandgino.com, and these are professionals. I'd say 90% of them we have used. Some of them we brought on, we just didn't need their service yet, but they're great people, and we love the people that we use. So go to aprgi.com. That's America's Professional Resource Group, Inc., aprgi.com. You'll see some of the best professionals that we personally vouch for and utilize
Yeah, I was
ourselves.
going to say, you don't need to go to Yelp to find out that these people are great. We're telling you after 8 years and using every one of them. Mm-hmm. And you know what's beautiful about it? We put that group together a long time ago, and we still use all the same people. We don't have turnover. We haven't had to get rid of people and swap people out. The people that we chose through the show have ended up to be great resources for us, and they helped us in our personal life.
And they also have additional resources, meaning if we don't have it, one of them will have the resource you need. So, again, aprgi.com. All right, so in the previous segments, we were talking about 2018. We talked about that the real estate market has slowed. When you're going to hear that's a crash, it's not a crash. It's an adjustment to something none of you probably even remember. Mm-hmm. I do, because I've been in this industry for 32 years now.
1997 was the last time.
Oh, you looked in? Right.
Yeah, the last time the conditions were this way. 1997.
Right. So a couple decades.
I had just graduated high school.
Yes. It's called a normal real estate market, which means it's not overheated in any direction. It means that buyers and sellers will actually negotiate on the true value of the home.
Yeah, and interest rates are not artificially low anymore.
Right.
They're still low. They're still at low standards. I mean, if you saw the post,
the upper fours, low fives.
I mean, we had. I had this. Steve Harney did this last week. We were talking about the average interest rate in the 70s, the average interest rate in the 80s, the average interest rate in the 90s. This is still the lowest decade since the 40s.
Oh, by far.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. I mean, you'll talk to your parents who are like, my first loan was 17%, 18. And I was talking, mine was 7 3/4 on the first and 12 on the second.
Yep. I had a first and second combo as well. And I think I had 6.875 on my first and like 9.5 on my second.
Okay. That makes sense. Yep. You were a little bit younger than me, so that makes sense.
Yep.
So the real estate market is still strong. In fact, the builders are out there building. We're going to have 27,000 homes built out here pretty soon. So we're going to have a lot more inventory coming into the market. So think about that, you sellers.
Okay, and so let's talk a little bit, because we said real estate investment. We were talking about that, and the reason we're getting a lot of real estate investment phone calls is because the stock market's not doing very well. So if you talk to most people and they look at the year in review as it relates to the stock market, or even if you just look at NASDAQ, right? NASDAQ is now in negative territory for the year. So depending on how your trading went and depending on what you did, this year will most likely be a net zero year, if you're lucky.
Right.
If you're lucky, you broke even.
The way the market's been recently, they're like, I'll take that.
Yeah, you're happy to break even, right?
Yeah, because even if you're like, oh, I lost all my gains. If you broke even, I looked at mine. I told you I was like within like $100 or something like that. I did better on my fantasy football than I did my stocks.
Super funny.
And nothing against it. It's just where the stock market is. It's adjusting. And that happens. It doesn't mean it can't go right back up eventually. And just like real estate, over time it goes up.
But our advisors are telling us and other people's advisors are telling us that next year is going to be uncertain for the stock market. And so if you're looking in the stock market to try to make an 8% return next year after taxes, that's highly unlikely. It's possible, but highly unlikely.
Agreed.
So people are taking money out of the stock market, they're deleveraging, they're paying off debts, and they're reallocating their assets. Part of that reallocation strategy is to move into hard assets. Just in case paper money continues to lose value, you're going to put it into a hard asset. And what's a good hard asset?
Real estate, one of the best investments over time in history.
Okay.
Bottom line, if you invested in real estate over time, you're going to win.
Okay, so let's talk about
Over time.
2018, January 1st. I had $100,000. Okay,
Yep.
so I put that $100,000 into the stock market. Joe puts it into the stock. I put it in the stock market, and you bought a house.
Okay.
Okay, you bought a
It's
$500,000 house.
Great scenario.
Right, you bought a $500,000 house. You put 20% down on that
Yep.
house. Okay,
Yep.
standard. The same $100,000. I put it in the stock market. Okay, fast forward 12 months. Today, we're sitting here. We're having a conversation. I say, "How'd you do with your $100,000?" You know, I broke even. I didn't make any money this year.
I'm going to tell you, I made $30,000 in appreciation.
Oh, that sounds like a big
Not
number.
including my principal reduction.
How did you
or
make
my tax.
$30,000 on $100,000? That's a 30% return, Don.
That's right. How about that? Because the best thing about real estate, it's leverage. I mean, I put $100,000 down, but my return is on the entire value of my $500,000 home at 6% appreciation. That's 30 grand.
Damn. So I didn't make any money, and you made 30 grand.
Plus, I have tax advantages that you didn't have.
And then also, what about inflation? My cash maybe lost some of its money due to inflation on top of that.
But about 2.5%.
Okay, so I lost 2.5% just because of inflation, and you made 30% plus tax benefits. I think you did a better job investing this year.
That works for me.
All right, so that's real estate investment 101.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot more complex than that.
Obviously,
Yeah, it's-
and there, you're going to say, well, it doesn't always appreciate, but that's why I'm telling you, over time, real estate over time, it pretty much appreciates between 3.5% and 4% over time.
That's over the last 50-year period, including the down cycle.
Yeah, you can add that back in, which are people are doing now. If you held on to your home through the down cycle and still have it, you may have appreciation.
So that's the key: is you've gotta, and to quote Bill Dallas, ride the cycle.
Right.
Right. You have to not need to sell when house prices suck.
Yeah, you can't panic over a couple of years. If it does go down, if it's your home and you plan on keeping your home, then you'll be fine.
Yeah, as long as you
As
can
long
get
as
through it.
you have a good loan. Back in the day, there were some people that did not have good
Exotic loans, right? They
Yes.
had exotic loans that they couldn't afford in
interest-only
the first
loans,
place.
1% negative amortization. Those things
Those
aren't
are
out there.
They're not bad loans. They're
Right.
just probably the tools were put in the wrong hands. Those are tools to be used for specific
true, that.
instances, and instead they were given to almost everybody. And that's where I think it was a problem. Back then, we also didn't have a lot of regulation. We didn't have licensing. We didn't have a lot of different things that protect the consumer.
Well, and if you're afraid, like you hear about the real estate bubble or it bursting again, we can honestly tell you, because we do loans, we do more loans than almost anyone, right here in our office at Finance America, right at the Sunkist building by Magic Mountain. I can tell you that our clients all qualify. It's required by law now that they show the ability to repay a mortgage. Back in the day, during the Wild West days, basically you can base it on an equity position or a FICO score, a credit score.
or a heartbeat.
Yes. Yeah, you breathe in this mirror, you fog it
I'm
up,
not
you
even
get
entirely sure that everybody that got a mortgage had a heartbeat.
Maybe not. Back in the day, it was so not regulated. So it is regulated now. So those who are qualified for homes, that's why they will keep their homes. They actually qualify for the payment of the home.
Now let's put the giant asterisk in front of this, because the mortgage meltdown did not happen because of the exotic mortgages. What ended up happening was everybody lost their jobs. And because they lost their jobs and the exotic mortgages changed at the wrong time, it was a perfect storm.
It was.
It was really, just like 50-year storms, just like 50-year snowfalls, 50-year droughts, those kinds of things. They are unique circumstances that happen once every 50 years. We do not see that happening right now.
We don't. And we feel that the real estate market still has a few more years to go. And even if you hear the word recession, doesn't mean it's a downturn. It just means it's a correction, just like the stock market, just like the real estate market. It's not a crash. So
You almost think we've been doing this for 8 years, because you just teed up the next segment, Don.
did, didn't I?
You sure
what
did.
are we
That's
talking about
pretty
next,
cool.
Gino?
2019. What does that look like? How should you allocate your portfolio? How should you allocate your assets? And what you should be looking at to make sure you succeed in 2019.
All right, you heard right here in the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. Again, find out more. Join us at donandgino.com. Go to our Facebook page. Check out the National Real Estate Cafe. We have lots of great information for you and more to come in our final segment on our holiday special.